We are taught that we buy things because we need them. That is a lie. We buy things to weaponize them. In 1750, the ultimate weapon of the British elite wasn't a sword. It was a fruit. A single pineapple cost the equivalent of $8,000 in today's money. It had to be imported from the tropics on slow wooden ships, kept alive in hothouses burning coal 24 hours a day. But here is the insanity. These people didn't eat them. That would be like eating a diamond. Instead, they carried them under their arms at parties or placed them on mantles to rot. Middle-class families who couldn't afford to buy one would actually rent a pineapple by the hour just to walk down the street holding it. It was a useless, rotting object, and that was exactly the point. The moment technology made pineapples cheap enough to eat, the rich stopped buying them. They didn't want the fruit. They wanted the distance from the poor. This proves a dark rule of economics that most people ignore. Price is not a barrier. Price is the feature. This is the story of the Veblen paradox, and it explains why you are genetically hardwired to burn money. Welcome to Minsky, where psychology, money, and history collide to reveal the dark side of human nature. Let me show you the glitch in the matrix. Economics 101 teaches the law of demand. As price goes up, demand goes down. This makes sense for survival goods, but in 1899, sociologist Thorstein Veblen noticed that for certain goods, the curve inverts. Price goes up, demand goes up. Price goes down, demand collapses. He called it conspicuous consumption. For these goods, the price tag isn't an obstacle. The price tag is the product. Here's a thought experiment. Tomorrow, Rolex announces that, thanks to a manufacturing breakthrough, all their watches will now cost $50. Same materials, Swiss movement, sapphire crystal, and logo. What happens? Does everyone buy one? No. The market collapses. Not because the watch is worse, it keeps time perfectly. But the signal is destroyed. You weren't buying a timepiece, you have a phone for that. You were buying proof that you could burn $10,000 on your wrist without going bankrupt. You were buying rank. Lower the price, and you don't make the product accessible. You ruin it. We use price as a shortcut for quality. But deeper than that, we use price as a shortcut for hierarchy. Owning it makes us feel superior. But why would our brains reward us for wasting resources? To understand the madness, we have to go into the jungle. Darwin was troubled by the peacock's tail. It is heavy, bright, and attracts tigers. It requires massive calories to grow and hinders flight. By every measure of natural selection, the tail is a disaster. It should kill the bird. But in 1975, biologist Amotz Zahavi proposed the handicap principle. The tail survives precisely because it is a disaster. A weak peacock with a giant tail gets eaten. But a strong peacock with a giant tail, if he can drag that heavy, useless rug around and still escape the tiger, he must be genetically superior. The tail is an honest signal. Words cost nothing. I'm rich costs nothing to say. But burning resources cannot be faked. The waste makes it honest. This is costly signaling theory. The $8,000 pineapple proves you can waste $8,000 on rotting fruit. The $300,000 Ferrari proves you can burn resources on transportation marginally faster than a Toyota. We don't buy utility. We buy waste. Because waste proves abundance. Research confirms this. In 2008, researchers gave subjects identical wine from two bottles. One labeled $5, one labeled $90. Brain scans revealed significantly more pleasure activity in the medial orbitofrontal cortex for the expensive wine. It actually tasted better to them. The price didn't just change their wallet, it changed their neurochemistry. But when the signal becomes too cheap, when the peasants start buying pineapples, the elite don't just stop buying, they start destroying. History gives us a terrifying example. The Native American tribes of the Pacific Northwest practiced a ceremony called the potlatch. A chief would invite a rival tribe to a feast, but the goal wasn't to feed them. The goal was to humiliate them with waste. The chief would pile up blankets, copper shields, and food, and then he would set it on fire. He would burn his own house. He would smash copper shields worth a lifetime of labor. He was signaling, I am so wealthy, I can destroy everything I own and still survive. Can you? If the rival chief couldn't burn an equal amount of wealth, he was socially bankrupt. We think we are civilized. But look at nightclub bottle service. You pay a 1,000% markup for a bottle of vodka with a sparkler. You aren't paying for the vodka. You are paying for the waitress to carry it above her head, so the club sees you burning money. It is a modern potlatch. You are burning capital to buy the eyes of strangers, and when the signal gets polluted, when too many people can afford the vodka, the powerful will do anything to protect the signal, even make it illegal. Consider Tyrian purple. For centuries, this was the most expensive substance on Earth. Made from fermented murex sea snails, 10,000 snails produced just 1 gram of dye. Wearing purple meant you were rich enough to smell like money. But when merchants became rich enough to buy it, Rome panicked. They passed sumptuary laws, making it illegal for commoners to wear the color. The elites needed to protect the signal. If a merchant wears purple, the emperor looks less special. The penalty for unauthorized purple was death. The signal only works if others can't have it. This mechanism never disappeared. Hermes doesn't let you buy a Birkin. You have to qualify. Ferrari relies on allocation. The difficulty of obtaining the item is artificial, designed to protect the egos of those who already own it. But in the 21st century, the game shifted. The middle class got credit cards. They bought the logos. The signal was polluted. So the rich invented a new game that money alone cannot buy. Look at the new uniform of power, Mark Zuckerberg's gray t-shirt, the cast of Succession, no logos, just $500 cashmere baseball caps. Economists call this inconspicuous consumption, or counter-signaling. If you wear a suit, you signal respect for authority. If you wear a hoodie to a board meeting, you signal that you are the authority. I am so rich, I don't need to prove it to you. It's a dog whistle only other rich people hear. It shifts the cost from money to knowledge. You have to know the plain t-shirt is Brunello Cucinelli. If you don't know, you aren't the target audience. This evolution has birthed a new Veblen good. Luxury beliefs. In the past, you signaled status with a watch. Today you signal it with opinions. The elite adopt counterintuitive beliefs that signal they went to elite universities. Defund the police is a luxury belief. If you live in a gated community with private security, you can afford that belief. But for the poor person in a high-crime neighborhood, that belief is a disaster. Just like the peacock's tail, the belief is a handicap. It signals, I am so insulated from consequence, I can hold dangerous opinions and be fine. But the final evolution isn't physical. We are moving the potlatch to the cloud. We are witnessing the birth of the digital Veblen good, Fortnite skins, CS.Joe knives. A blue gun shoots the same as a gold gun. The gold gun offers 0 tactical advantage. It makes you easier to see. It is a handicap. Yet kids spend thousands for the digital gold paint. Why? To signal rank in the metaverse. CryptoPunks, bored apes, JPEGs that cost $200,000. Critics say, I can just right-click save it. They miss the point. You can buy a fake Rolex for $50. It looks the same, but you know it's fake. The blockchain is the ultimate receipt. It proves you burned the money. It proves the waste. The medium changes. The drive remains eternal. 1700s, pineapples. 1800s, snail dye. 2000s, gray t-shirts. 2020s, digital monkey pictures. The pineapple hasn't changed. Only the shape of the fruit has. We are trapped in a biological loop, desperate to prove our worth to the tribe. Why can't we escape? Because this isn't a cultural choice. It's a biological command. In ancestral environments, status meant survival. Those who didn't signal were outcompeted. We are the descendants of the most insecure, status-obsessed peacocks who ever lived. The software runs whether we approve or not. But at least now, when you see someone buying a JPEG for the price of a Ferrari, you won't be confused. You will see the peacock dragging its tail through the mud, hoping the tiger doesn't notice how slow it is. The next time you crave something overpriced, ask yourself, am I buying utility or am I buying rank? The answer won't set you free. The drive is too deep. But at least you'll know which game you're playing. The history they don't teach is the history that reveals the trap. Position accordingly. In the game of finance, if you don't know who the greater fool is, it's probably you. Subscribe and learn how to stop playing their game. But once you stop burning money, you might be tempted to give it away. You think generosity makes you a hero? Psychology warns it often makes you the villain. There is a specific mechanism that turns your gifts into insults. To make sure your money doesn't cost you your friends, you should watch this video now on why giving people money causes them to hate you.